Hello and welcome to the 7-part series of the Spiral of Creation, which is using the chakras more in a spiral pattern rather than straight up or down. And it's a system that's used in, or patterning that's used in a system called the dream spell, which is based off of sort of the Mayan day counting. Some people call it an astrology, but it's, just sort of like a day counting patterning system. And in the dream spell, which is its own thing, it's based off of the Mayan calendars, but it is a little bit of a more modern take on it. They have this 7-day pattern of how we work through the chakras, and it's in a spiral of creation. And so what this series is intended to do is to take us through that spiral of creation. So in the very first reading, we are going to receive a download, open to inspiration. So we're going to work each week on clearing and understanding how we work with each chakra to help it sort of clear and open and be ready for what is going to be coming in. And so I'm going to be putting this intro to the series at the start of each of the 7-week actual videos. So if you've already seen this, feel free to skip ahead to the intro to the actual reading. But if you haven't seen this yet, or if you want a refresher, I would stay here. And also a note that it is very important that you do this in order. So if you're coming into this and seeing this when we're at the heart chakra, so like the 7th reading, or if we're at the throat chakra, which would be the 5th reading, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, the 5th one, whichever one you're coming in at. If you have not gone in order, I would highly suggest for you to go back and start with the first reading of the series because this is a patterning. The first one is going to kick it off, and each subsequent one is a step that you shouldn't skip over. So I'm just going to go over what this patterning is. So we start in this system with the crown chakra. And in the philosophy around this spiraling pattern with the chakras, this is where we receive a download, receive inspiration or a divine spark, and it starts the spiral of creation. And so in the first reading, I will be helping us to see where there may be any blocks or things to be cleared, connecting different insights into how you may work with this chakra in general, and then just getting any insights about what kind of download or inspiration may be coming, but leaving it open-ended. And it's going to be a full week between readings. And so giving you that whole week of time to sort of receive your download, sort of pay attention to what this reading illuminated for you and receiving the download. And then in the second week, we'll anchor it down into the body by going into the root chakra. So taking the download and grounding it, finding how we feel connected to this, and how we feel aligned in our depths with it. So finding, our connection, our alignment, and our grounding with the inspiration that came in. And then we take it back up to the third eye, and this is the week where we will be using inner knowing to help see where there's old programming that needs to be cleared away for new programming, a new creation to come in, and tapping into any inner knowings we have that can help us have vision with this, sight with it, so some longer term planning and strategy with it. And then we go back down into the sacral chakra. And so we take all these things the insights we've had and the understandings of maybe what's needed to be cut in terms of old programming, and we sort of transmutate that, we alchemize it and free up new energy to come in and start to move and feel a sensitivity and connect to some emotionality and fluidity around what this download is. So like beyond just anchoring it in and feeling connected to it, now we're kind of moving with it and feeling how it feels to us, which might help us to mold something about this or move something about it, and getting creative with it. But in the beginning, there does have to be some sort of alchemy that helps to take things we've seen that we need to cut away and sort of move it out of us as well, in order to get to moving it into us in a more fluid, creative way. And then we go back up into the throat chakra. And this is where, now that we've felt this energy, moved it, maybe molded something about it, there's something we probably want to speak at this point, release at this point. And so this is the reading where we'll connect to where there may be blocks around oppression or repression that need you to express something in order to open the gates and let it vibrate out in the world, resonate out in the world by you speaking your truth and releasing any blocks here. And then we go back down into our solar center, and this is where we find our core value with this, which gives us confidence and willpower and connection to manifesting and real sort of vitality around this to kind of charge forward and stake our claim in whatever this download has kind of turned into at this point. And then we end the series anchoring into our heart chakra, which is the center chakra of all. And it's where things fully integrate into us. So now at the end of this spiral of creation, something is trying to fully integrate here, which then opens our heart, helps us to radiate and be the presence of it and just be it. Be whatever the presence of this download ends up transforming into in this creation cycle. And in my opinion, this spiral of creation and working with the chakras this way, where we then really integrate something into our hearts, to me it's like the heart is the key that turns something on that then awakens the chakra as we're used to, the chakra system as we're used to hearing about it with like a kundalini rising. So I feel like we need to go through this spiral process and really anchor into our heart, which becomes a key that creates that kundalini rising that ignites all the chakras fully on and rising up and creating an awakening. And then we start again. It's like that awakening makes us fully open again, and then we're ready to receive a new download, a new inspiration, and a new message for a new spiral of creation. That's how I see it anyway. The dream spell system, they actually call these the 7 radial plasmas, but I think most people are more familiar with the chakra terminology. That system doesn't necessarily talk about that being the key for the kundalini rising. That's sort of my own opinion, and as I've worked this pattern a lot over the last couple of years, that's sort of how I feel like it works for me, at least. So this is where I'm going to leave you. Definitely go back to the first reading and do these in order if you're here for the first time at a later on reading. And you can definitely skip over this series intro now that you have seen it in the other readings, but definitely sometimes it's nice to have a refresher too. So if you feel like you need that, you know, maybe at the first one you watch this and the second and third you don't need to, but then at the fourth you're like, oh, I need to refresh with that. You know, whatever works for you. But once you've seen this once, don't feel like you need to watch it every time. So after this intro that will be at the start of each of the 7 readings, we will go into the intro for the actual reading. So I will see you in the intro for whichever reading you are at. All right, see you guys. Hello and welcome to this first of 7 readings in this series of the spiral of creation using our chakras. If you didn't watch the intro to the series that's right before this intro to this reading, I would highly suggest doing that. I know it's like 14 minutes, but it's really worth understanding what we're doing here since we're going to spend 7 weeks here. So this first week, we are focusing on the crown chakra to begin this journey into a spiral of creation. So it's going to be all about clearing, healing any blockages, clearing any blockages, getting some insight into your crown chakra and insight into what sort of download, inspiration, spark of the divine is trying to come through as well. So there are 4 piles here. These cards will not be in the reading. They're just from 4 different decks that have chakra cards in them. And so I picked out the crown chakra cards from these decks just to kind of be placeholders for the piles. So we have pile 1, this is from the Sigil Oracle. Pile 2, I can't remember, it's definitely a chakra oriented deck. I can't remember the exact name. Pile 3, this is from the Yogi Path. And pile 4, this is from the Wise Animal Body deck. Okay, so for those of you that like the breath work I do to help you tune into your higher self and inspiration in picking your piles, we'll do that now. So place your feet firmly on the ground. Feel that stability and solidity under you, holding you. Take a deep breath to kind of anchor into that, anchor into your body, feeling safe in your body there. Now take another breath and suck that air, the oxygen up into the space between your brows. Hold it. Suck in a little more to add pressure. And then out loud, exhale and release that, opening your crown chakra and third eye. And tune into the different piles and feel which one is drawing you in, that feels sort of settled, anchored, magnetic to you, to get your right message, your right crown chakra clearing and healing and activation. Okay, I will see you guys in your readings. Timestamps are in the descriptions below. Hello, pile 1. Welcome to your crown chakra reading as the first of 7 readings as we anchor into a spiral of creation over the next 7 weeks. This is where you should be starting. You guys picked the crown chakra card from the Sigil Oracle, and we're not actually going to be using this. I'm just going to set it aside, but just sort of identifying your pile. Okay, so to start with, we're going to do some cards that will help us see where there may be some blocks, some things that need to be cleared out or seen about your crown chakra right now to help bring some clearing or healing to this area to really activate it and open it. Feeling this bottom card. Okay, so Ascendant. And we're going to use a tarot deck to get sort of some sort of confirmation of what this is meaning. King of Water here. Okay, so to me this is saying that you typically have, and this card, to honestly, and it's been bugging me, this came out when I picked it, it was reversed, and I think that makes more sense to me. I think you typically have like a deep relationship with your crown chakra, a very clear connection with it, a very simple, clear, direct connection with your crown chakra. So you may be someone who tends to quite easily get downloads or sparks of information. But there could be times when it's almost like you feel like the door is completely shut to you with this. And it has to do with how centered you are in yourself and in your own energy. And, there are just ebbs and flows we go through even during a day, but over a course of a year for sure, where we just really aren't focused on our self-centering. So it's a natural thing to come in and out of flow with that. But one insight I could give is that when you feel blocked here, like that door is closed to you, like having that direct access to inspiration and downloads, you can spend a little bit of solo time, especially doing something really active, like get out and hike by yourself, or just go on a long walk, or something aerobic would be great too, to really sweat out, move out anything external to you, and then some mindfulness practice and just being by yourself, anything that works for you to really get back into your own center, your own sense of self, and your own energy. That is something you can do to reopen that door if you're craving that door to be open. And like I said, I don't think it's meant to be open always, because you don't want to live a fully self-centered life. So there's just going to be times when you have more focus on relationships, or the collective world, or whatever it is, family, and it just kind of muddles that connection, and that's fine. There's just times when those things need more attention. But for you right now, because we are intentionally trying to get there, this is saying that anything you can do to reestablish a centering in the authority you have in the emotional domain. So right now you may feel some confusion in emotion, or some sensitivity that's not making sense. And I think the more you can get back into your own energy in ways we've already talked about, you'll turn this back around and find a real command and authority and understanding and compassion and clarity around your emotional realm. And this will really just strengthen things here. Okay, let's look at a couple other areas you may need to be aware of to really heal and clear blocks right now for this work. I've got building and atoms. Yeah, we're down at the micro level of things. And 40, that's very foundational too. Let's pick a confirmation card. We've got 2 of air. Okay. So, this is making me feel like another thing that might be blocking or need some healing currently in your crown chakra is like being at an impasse with something, feeling like blocked from going forward trying to yeah, okay, what I'm feeling is there's something that I think you're scared to tip the scales in, to throw off balance, but that's exactly sort of what's needed, is to purposely throw some balance off for you in something that feels very foundational, very down in the cellular structure of your life. Something you're building. That's like the keyword I want it, because of the 40, and the keyword here is building. Something that you're building right now. I think there's like a block with it because you're trying to find just the right balance with things, but it's sort of like you won't find the right balance unless you throw the balance purposely off a bit. By making a decision, because I feel like there's an impasse in something and you're scared to go one way or the other because it will create some imbalance, but just make a decision either way. It really doesn't matter because it's going to get things moving again. And the whole purpose of balance is to be in dynamic movement, and it's sort of like you're stuck, frozen, you know? So you just have to choose, you know, in some decision you're needing to make around something you're building, you just need to make a decision. And honestly, I don't think it matters what the decision is. Just something that moves things, that creates some movement that maybe starts out with throwing things out of balance so that you can start finding some rhythm and tensions and harmonies again, get things moving, find that dynamic trust with life to reestablish a balance. But it's sort of like you're not going to find the balance you need with what you're building until you make a firm decision about something that puts things, tips things a little and makes you get into the dynamic flow of life. Another thing coming in here is I feel like maybe some of the downloads you tend to get quite often are very, scientific might be one word, but I feel like another way of saying this is just like really intricate, down in the depths, foundational stuff, like but I do feel like a lot of you, like these downloads may have kind of a scientific bent to them for sure. Yeah, okay, the last thing we're going to look at in terms of maybe something that needs to be either cleared or healed in your crown chakra to receive the download, the inspiration, the divine spark to start this spiral of creation. Versatility, which really matches what I've already said here. I think it's like time to kind of purposely shake something up. There's like some stagnancy, and kind of threading these all together. It's like maybe you feel emotional about a decision you need to make, and it's making life feel a little stagnant, and this is just saying, like, get clear about your own energy, get back to your sense of self, just make some decision that puts things in movement, and think about how you can shake it up to be a little different, to add a little bit of a different flavor to something here. And then a confirmation we have is heart, or strength, which is to me the heart. And it's all about having trust in yourself. Trust yourself to shake things up, that you've got it, that adding some new component to a decision you're making that will bring more versatility, which means having to hold more things to balance. Trust your heart that you've got this. You have the strength you need to do that. And the shakeup is really going to help clear some energy around having access to inspiration and downloads here. Cool. Okay, so now let's look at, we're going to do another row to see kind of, some insight. I want you guys to really stay open during this week before we go to the next reading, and wait for your own inspiration and divine sparks and downloads to come, so that it's really particular and specific to you. But I do just want to look at maybe some of, more of your own energy, that may give us insight of what may be coming, what, deeper into how you work with your crown chakra, what it's like when it is clear, how maybe the universe sees this chakra in you. So we've got integrity. The energy of integrity supports our choice to be consistently truthful and honest while being guided by high moral standards. So to me, this is what kind of the divine, the cosmic energy is attracted to in you, is when you can really center in your integrity, knowing what feels truthful and honest to you, and really sticking to some sort of moral framework that really connects within you, that you really feel a deep alignment with. So when you're in alignment with your own sort of moral frameworks and really living that with integrity and being honest with yourself and with others, speaking truths even when they're hard, that there's something about that really attracts in, something about you that the divine is really attracted to. Okay. It's like your deepest alignment is here. Like when you're in your integrity, you're just like really aligned and coming under the ascendant. That's like, some clues too about like when you're in your strongest personal centering. And it's when things start to move and happen for you as well. Okay, next we're going to look at the soul's journey for some more insight here. This usually will bring some sort of healing message of how to know when you're on the right track. So blame. I accept responsibility for my well-being. So this is something coming through to help you to know when you're on the right track, when you're really moving forward and clearing, keeping the energy clear in your crown chakra, is getting clear about what is in your highest good around your well-being. And I love how this connects to the ascendant and this very personal centering energy. Is like knowing what is best for you and taking assertive action for that, taking responsibility for your own well-being, for knowing what you need and what you need to do to provide for your needs, and taking it upon yourself to do for yourself what you need for yourself. So that's like one way to really keep things clear here, really keep things centered and connected with your centering, which is for you your personal path of connecting to your crown chakra. Tower. So where, because this came out in reverse, and I'm getting a feeling here of like there may be some emotional muddiness right now, some in this indecision. Yes, this is all coming through. there's something, like I said, that you're nervous about making a decision on because it's like going to tip the scales, making you hold more things and harmonize more things. But it's sort of what is needed to do, because you're breaking out of a shell right now. In terms of how your center, your self-centering, has that direct access to your crown chakra. It's like you're up leveling in this. So the constructs you've made around this are no longer aligned for you. So like getting back into that integrity of being honest with yourself of what you need for you and taking responsibility for your well-being. I think you need to make a decision to shake things up because you're ready to move past some way you center in yourself and how you connect that to getting inspiration. There's something you're growing out of here, and it's like, you know, tip the scales, shake things up, and take responsibility for moving things in terms of what you need, you know, for your own well-being. There's something I think needs some shaking up here in order to move past the walls it's grown you into. you're expanding past this right now. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, and then sort of a last message. This actually came out upside down. Lily of the Valley in reverse. Let's see. And I am going to be reading from the guidebook for these cards, because they have really specific. Okay. Specific descriptions when they come out reverse versus upright. There's two different books for that. Okay, so when it comes out in reverse, which is more of a dusk energy for it, it says medicine known as agua aurea, gold water, has historically distilled from lily of the valley and was so valuable in combating stroke and nervous disorders that it was kept in vessels of gold and silver. But despite its delicate appearance and heart-shaped seeds, the majority of the plant is highly poisonous. Don't let appearances deceive you. Something that looks appealing may turn out to be dangerous, and something with a toxic reputation may prove to be of value to you. Look beneath the surface and do your research before making a full decision. And I feel like this is my intention in this reading is for this card and the tarot that comes out with it to show a lot about your crown chakra when it's really highly functioning and open and active and clear. And this very much so connects to this Adams card up here to me, is that there is something about your crown chakra that really knows how to receive messages and attract inspiration about things that are below the surface, and having a real strength of heart and daring to be inspired by things that, despite, you know, dangerous appearances, actually have gold within them. Like, you know exactly how to see what's under the surface, below the appearances. And so you know how to pick the most potent, powerful, and attract in these potent, powerful, foundational, deep kind of downloads. And then let's get a tarot for this. Yeah, Four of Waters, definitely under the surface of things, very aligned with your soul. You know how to connect to things from a very soul place and attract downloads that are very already deeply aligned with who you are, your integrity. Gorgeous. All right, and then last thing, we're just going to get just a message, a simple message from Spirit that you need to know about clearing out anything with your crown chakra, connecting to its highest potential so that you can receive your download in the next week. Florentine, find peace within, exactly like we talked about early on here. It's like really finding a way to get back into your center, finding clarity with your emotions, which creates peace, which helps you to see under the foundations of things, which helps you to make decisions and hold versatility, connect to the strength of your heart, and ultimately to do what you do best with crown chakra and what you attract best with your crown chakra, which is really deeply potent downloads that are under the surface of things and deeply aligned already with your soul. Okay, so in this specific reading, I'm not going to do this in the other chakra readings. I may do something like this, but maybe more simple. I do want to get some insight into, and again with this, I'm going to be reading from the guidebook because these are sort of intricately interpreted cards. Something about the message that's trying to come into you. So not the actual specific message, but sort of an energy around the message that is waiting to download into you or to inspire you or to give you a spark. And we have Archon Barbello. And this is the White Light Oracle. Number 10, and I'm not going to read, this is, the descriptions or the interpretations are like pages long, so I'm just going to read sort of the first distilled kind of paragraph message. So it says, your biology and gender are creative and powerful means for you to express your soul path. Sometimes you may feel limited by gender constraints or stereotypes, but your spirit can never be restricted or controlled. Embrace the journey of what it feels like to be you in your own body. There is much benefit and healing to be gained through an embrace of your life journey, including the deeper experience of the absolute freedom of your spirit. And it's so interesting how this sort of general tone of what's trying to reach you matches so much about what you're already kind of trying to clear in your own energy to connect to your crown chakra. So I love that paradox that as soon as you're able to sort of clear this, an inspiration will settle in that gives you the ahas about these things. Yeah, so like what is under this, messages, downloads, inspiration about what's under the surface, about living with the ascendant, exactly who you are, being responsible for your own well-being, living in the freedom of being who you are for yourself kind of thing, not restricted or controlled. Really having the say-so and the authority over and the integrity to living in alignment with what it feels like to be in your body. Yeah, gorgeous reading, gorgeous message trying to come through. A lot of things to think about in terms of just getting things sort of clear and settled in your crown chakra. And then the things that you may not get answers, but if you can just like settle and clear things, I think the download coming through is the thing that's going to be okay, I just needed to kind of give some space here, settle some things, and a download is coming to really answer a lot of things that are already sort of blocking you in this area. Okay, beautiful reading, pile one. I will see you next week in the root chakra reading for this Spiral of Creation series. All right, happy week and happy connecting to inspiration. Hello, pile 2. If this is you guys, this is the card that you were attracted to. So we're not actually going to use this card in the reading, so I'm just going to set it aside. So to start this crown chakra reading, we're going to turn over some cards to get an idea of where there might be some blocks or some things that need some healing in order to really activate this crown chakra area for you to receive the download, inspiration, waiting for you to be open to it. Okay. So we have Uranus, change. Interesting. That feels to me almost more like a timing thing rather than a block you're sitting with. Like there's a block because the time's not right. So I would watch the next time either, it will totally depend on if you come to this reading right when it comes out or at a very different time. But I would watch for like the next activation of Uranus, so whether the moon or any other planet crosses it, opposes it, squares it. If you don't know how to track that kind of thing, don't worry. Wait for that sensation of something surprising. Something that feels out of the blue, something that kind of shakes up your perspective or feels really surprising to you. That's really all you need to connect with. That's likely an indication that there's been a Uranus activation or transit, and that feeling of change. So to me, this is a timing thing. Whatever download's waiting to come in, it's waiting for some kind of change to have already kind of come in, some sort of surprise, shift, shake up, whatever it is. And I feel like the download might just come with that. It may take a minute to settle with the surprise, and then like immediately following, I think some kind of download will come with that. Okay, and then a confirmation card. We have Page of Water in reverse. To me, this is saying you're in a moment of dreaming through your heart right now and allowing your emotions to dream, which is beautiful. There's nothing wrong with that, except that when we go into, like, close ourselves off from the world to do this, there's something here saying, like, do this. Something about this is bringing this change energy toward you, but it's like you need to look out into the world. You need to move out into the world a little more to be more aware of things around you, be more interactive with things around you as you're in this kind of dreaming phase. And something about that is attracting a message to you, this download, this inspiration to you, but you need to be more out in the world, engaging your dreams more outwardly, I guess you could say. Or just in general being more outward into the world, not necessarily with your dreams, like do your dreams, but then just be a little bit more in the world, be a little bit more aware of your world, and naturally that will help you to see what you're supposed to see when this kind of shift or shakeup comes with Uranus. Because to me, this is saying, like, you might miss that. You might miss this shift that Uranus brings if you're down in hermit mode. You need to be a little more, aware and up. Okay, let's get another message about what your crown chakra needs in order to be open. life, breath. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. Like, even being, I honestly am feeling like some aerobic activity, even if that's just walking, and in fresh air. There's something about moving, getting your lungs going, getting your heart beating, your heart rate up, oxygen moving through you, some fresh air through you. It's going to turn, get you out of this head in the sand place and allow your dreams to mingle with what's going on out in the world around you, which is attracting in this shift and change, which just behind that is the message or the download. Call. This is judgment. Yeah. There's something destined here for this pile. It's almost like a download, a message is already very, very much so on its way to you. There's no stopping it. There's nothing you exactly have to do to make this happen. So even needing to be more active, there's something coming in because of how destined this download or inspiration is, where the universe is going to force you to get more assertive, more engaged in the world, more active. So, I mean, all the more power to you to take that into your own hands and do it for yourself. But if you don't, I feel like the universe is going to enforce it anyway. So you might as well just decide how you want to do it for you instead of it being forced upon you in some way. Yeah, okay, one more sort of message about how we need to clear this chakra for you. The sage, beautiful. To me, this is saying that this is like the energy you normally have with your crown chakra. Like, you have a very sage energy, and so the downloads and inspiration you attract are very sage quality. And anything you can do right now to really stay aligned with your own soul, or bring, mind, body, soul into alignment, which allows a lot of forward progress to happen. Anything you can do around that to really anchor into, just being clear with your energy and what, bringing into alignment any inner tensions you may have, and finding agreement within yourself in order to move forward. The more, the quicker this message, this download and inspiration is likely to come through here. Okay, beautiful. All right, we're gonna move into looking a little bit more at maybe what kind of energy you do have. I mean, I think some of that's already come through, but because I don't feel like there's a lot of blocks for you, so I feel like we're already getting a lot of messages about your connection to your crown chakra. But that's what I've been doing with this lower row is getting just some insight into how you work with your crown chakra, how you access it, what is your relationship with it, so that you can really tune into it and be, present to it in the coming week. So 8, abundance. The energy of abundance activates our ability to manifest the wealth we need and the sense of fulfillment that comes from a heart and soul that are overflowing with love and gratitude. I mean, that's gorgeous to me. This is sort of like when you're in this energy in you that's natural to you. This is what really builds your resonance with your crown chakra, is feeling the abundance of life, feeling a sense of gratitude, feeling your, things coming from your heart and soul, being in alignment with those things, feeling into where fulfillment is felt every day, really developing a relationship to what fulfillment feels like and looks like to you. And so, the more you develop your own relationship to abundance, to gratitude, to fulfillment, the more that establishes your connection to your own crown chakra. Okay, let's get a confirmation card here. 8 of Waters. This is interesting. I feel like interesting message just came through. I feel like the rate at which you grow because of your connection to abundance and downloads in your crown chakra and unity with the cosmic world, the stronger, this is sort of paradox, a little bit of a paradox, the stronger you develop your relationship with this and develop that aspect of yourself, the more you outgrow parts of your life and constantly are having to shed skins, shed old stories, shed old chapters. So the more you try to cling on to life, staying the same, the more you're shutting off your connection to abundance and expansion, and the more you're shutting down that connection with your crown chakra as well. So paradoxically, the more you grow with your relationship to abundance and your unity with life, the more endings you have. And it's because of this constant outgrowing of things, which is very interesting, but it definitely indicates just how powerfully you grow or are capable of growing. Okay, whoops, that one shot out. Self-esteem. So this is this card is meant to show help you understand when you're on the right track. So self-esteem, I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. So when you're on the right track, you will feel very confident about gifts you possess, and specifically gifts benefit others. There's something about that is a sign for you that you're in the right track, you're developing in the right way, you're whether you're conscious of it or not, you're strengthening your resonance of abundance as well. Okay, let's get a confirmation here. King of Air. So your gifts that benefit others may be just a real mastery over something in the mind and the realm of ideas, of strategy, of storytelling, of anything that you have to use your mind to master something. So clarity of thought, philosophies, whatever it is for you, there's something you're very, very masterful with this gift that benefits. There's real authority in you, which makes sense of why you have such a deep connection to abundance as well. Okay, let's get another. I'm going to read from the book for this card that we get from this deck. That's going to tell us a little something about sort of the nature of the downloads you tend to get. So we've sort of seen how you what energy you develop to build your connection, to strengthen your connection to your crown chakra, how you know you're on the right track, and then what kind of downloads you tend to attract. So moonwort. Okay, and it came up upright. So there's two different decks with this, or two different guidebooks with this deck for reversals and upright, which is interesting. So upright, moonwort. Let's see. Okay. A commonly, and this is the Seed and Sickle deck, by the way, a commonly cited magical property of the moonwort fern is the power to pierce iron. There is said to be a hill in Devon in the UK so covered in moonwort that 30 fresh shod horses belonging to the Earl of Essex once lost their horseshoes whilst being ridden across it. Like moonwort, you can find inside of you the power to conquer any hurdle that stands in your way. You may feel small and easily trampled, but every barrier that stops you from moving forward has its weak point. Embrace your own inner strength and find it. Wow, that's amazing. So the downloads, a lot of, we can get all sorts of downloads, but ones you tend to attract a lot of inspiration around and insight around is how to connect to your own power, how to overcome things, and how to, grow and, move forward, which completely connects to me with that feeling of abundance, like conquering, moving forward, so having to leave the past behind, as we see with the Eight of Waters, constantly outgrowing certain scenarios of life because you're conquering and expanding and more deeply developing a sense of gratitude and fulfillment within you, which is bringing more mastery, more gifts, and more ability to benefit the world. And it's like, you're able to really move through powerfully in your expansion in this way. And a lot of downloads and inspiration coming to you to help you with this. And then we have Three of Water. And I love this. Where was it? Oh, with the self-esteem, gifts that benefit others. And I feel like the more you use the downloads you get and your connection to abundance in service of others and the greater good, the more this energy really grows and goes in the direction of confidence and grace for you, and the more that brings very supportive community for your growth, that have your back, that want to see you grow, because the more you grow, the more you benefit them. And so it's this very symbiotic, beautiful relationship that by you conquering, which sometimes that can be a very sort of aggressive energy, but here it's showing that it's not so much that, because every time you're conquering, it's for the benefit, the purpose of expansion, that it's for the benefit of others, not necessarily only for you. And you really are generous with that. And that generosity and gratitude can go very much so hand in hand. And the people around you see this, it's very apparent how you do this, and they just celebrate you. They want you to feel lifted up. They support your growth. It's gorgeous. Really beautiful. Okay, let's get a very simple crystal message for you to leave this main reading. I do have one other card after this, but I'll explain it after I do this. I just want to leave, just like a simple crystal message for this, getting in touch with your crown chakra, understanding your connection to it, clearing any blocks, and feeling it activated so that you're ready to receive whatever download is needing to come in during this week that will be the spark for a circle of creation, spiral of creation for you over the next 7 weeks. Okay. Aquamarine, go with the flow. I love that. And that's what I feel like. You're in a dreamy mode. You just need to be, just put yourself a little bit more active out in the world. Even as you dream, the universe is going to assure that happens anyway. I really think something's already very much so on the way to you. So just ride the wave. I think you're already quite open and clear in your crown chakra, to be honest. So, okay. So the last thing I want to look at, and this will be different in each of the chakra readings we do, but just some sort of insight. Even though I want to leave this a little open-ended so you each get whatever connection to this chakra you're supposed to get, and with the crown chakra, a download and inspiration, I want it to be open so that you each get what's meant for you. But I do just want to get a little bit of an insight into generally maybe a theme around what is trying to come through. Okay, so we have Seraph of 963 hertz, and that's interesting because that's the image on the book as well. So these descriptions are like pages long, so I'm just going to read sort of the very first little italices. I think it's sort of almost like a distilled message. Okay, practice connecting to the joy that is always deep within you. Pay attention to what brings you exquisite delight. If you don't know what that is, you are guided to experiment and explore. Connecting to the joyful capacity of your heart. Yeah, experiment, explore. That's going to help you connect with your heart and find alignment within yourself. Okay, connecting to the joyful capacity of your heart will heal so much negativity and uncertainty. Let your heart relax. Allow the spiritual grace that wishes to reorder your life to manifest its miraculous magic. So, that last sentence almost directly identifies what's going on with the download coming. Insight download is coming that wants to help you reorder life to manifest more of its miraculous magic. It's a little bit broad, but I think that's beautiful. So a reordering, some download, some inspiration that the universe is bringing, that it wants you to help reorder to make things more miraculous for you. Gorgeous reading, you guys. Wow, I love this. All right, this is where I'm going to leave you. I will see you next week down in the root chakra, where we ground whatever comes for you during this week and kind of embody it into our root chakra area. So if this resonated, I always appreciate thumbs up. Little comments are fun, and definitely subscribe if you're not yet. All right, see you guys. Hello, pile 3, and welcome to your crown chakra reading. If this is you guys, you picked the pile with the Yogi deck card for the crown chakra. We're not actually going to use this in this reading. It was just sort of a placeholder, so we're going to put that to the side. Okay, so in this reading, we are going to look at anything you need to know about where some clearing or blockages might need to take place in your crown chakra to get it activated and open in order to receive over the next week some sort of inspiration, download, or insight meant for you. And then we will take a look more at sort of your general connection to your crown chakra, how it tends to work for you when it is active and open. And then at the very end, we'll look at a message that might give some insight into the download trying to come in. It's still going to be a little bit vague and open-ended because I want it to be very open for you guys to have your own individual downloads and experiences that inspirations that come in for you. Okay, so let's start with what we need to know about anything that needs some clearing, any blockages you may have. First house, arrival. Okay, so there's something here about, it's interesting because pile 1 had the ascendant here, which is similar, it's basically the first house in a way, but I have a very different vibe with this. I feel like you need to wake up to how beautiful you are, whether you can feel that inwardly, outwardly, or both. There's something here, it's like you are impressive. And you need to anchor into that, to settle into that and see that for what it is. There's something about that you're not perceiving. It's like how impressive, how flourishing, how beautiful you actually are. And stop, like taking a moment, pausing a moment to feel that, to acknowledge that. Something about that is going to clear some energy for you in your crown chakra. Let's get a confirmation card to get a little more insight here. Yeah, self-love. That's what's coming through to me here. There is like a very just I don't know, it's like a flirtatious and intelligent sort of energy around you and about you that you need to acknowledge and appreciate more. And something about that is going to help clear out some connection you're needing to your crown chakra right now. Okay, let's see anything else we can get here. So alchemy, magic. Let's get the confirmation card first. Queen of Water. Beautiful. Yeah, I feel like you have a really refined connection to the spiritual realm, to your crown chakra. I'm honestly I keep getting the message like you need to pause and appreciate yourself more. It's like coming in again, but toward another aspect of yourself. There's a couple dimensions about yourself that you're not fully appreciating. There's something expressive, intelligent, beautiful, and there's something very powerful and magical also about you. That you have a real sort of capacity with your heart and command with. Like this sort of intelligent, flirtatious, attractive part of you feels kind of light and breezy to me, but something you need to move from anxiety towards a love of it, loving yourself for that part of you. And then this part of you that's a little bit more magical and powerful it's deeper. It's a deeper aspect of you. You actually have a lot of creation ability through it. But you're needing to kind of like pause with this, to take it in, to feel it. Yeah, I'm feeling like some frenetic energy around you, and it's like you need to pause and look at your beauty and get a view of it so you can kind of know in a longer take of things how to direct and channel these things about you. And there's something about that that will attract. I don't necessarily feel like your crown chakra is blocked, but you're not getting the message you need. There's a message you need around what I've been talking about, that because there's some frenetic energy is not able to come in. So you need to like pause. You need to love on yourself. You need to appreciate yourself, and you need to start looking at a long view and give yourself the space and time to do that. Don't feel rushed. That's what I'm sensing. Like, don't like slow down feeling rushed about something. Because if you can just pause and really appreciate yourself and beautiful things about yourself, inspiration and download will have that space and calmness and clearness to come in. Yeah, again, love. You need more self-love. You need to pause to appreciate yourself. It's pretty simple. Stop trying to think you need to do or be more. Stop trying to move things in a hurried pace. Pause, appreciate yourself, love on yourself, create some space and time for this. And you will see just how fertile, just how ready you are to birth so much, but you need a pause. You need to pause to recognize how much you've done, how beautiful you are, what the potential is that you hold, and appreciate that, and understand that you're supposed to value that a little bit more instead of like hurrying to put all your creations out there just in a fast way. How can you slow this down? There's something about that, something about slowing down, loving on yourself, taking a longer view of things, that a download and inspiration is going to come in to show you exactly how to direct all of the beauty and creation potential you hold in a much more valuable and strategic way. That's what I'm getting, yeah. Okay, so we're now going to go down a level and take a look at sort of your general energy with your crown chakra, some insight into how your crown chakra works. All sorts of things with that, but we'll talk about it as it goes. So authenticity. This is a card that's showing how you develop a relationship. What is the energy in you that best helps you to develop a relationship with your crown chakra? And we've got authenticity. The energy of authenticity supports our choice to be genuine and truthful in all aspects of our lives, with others as well as with ourselves. So the more you embody who you are proud of who you are, love who you are, and express who you are, the stronger the bond, which doesn't surprise me. I feel like we've already seen aspects of this up here, but this is how you strengthen a really direct connection and bond with your crown chakra. Gorgeous. Let's get a confirmation about this, a little context. Fortune's Wheel, 10 and 10. We have two 10s here. That's so interesting. Yeah, what I'm feeling here is the more you're coming from authenticity and loving yourself and expressing yourself, the stronger that develops your relationship with your crown chakra, the more you attract in luck, life-changing kind of luck. That's what I'm feeling, like windfalls and payouts and opportunities, things that just sort of shift your life constantly for the better, that feel like luck, but they're not luck. It's you constantly expanding your authenticity and expanding your expression of your authenticity that attracts, you know, what appears to be luck, but it's just this positive flow that just attracts positive things into your life, opportunities, openings, beauty, whatever, windfalls, like I said. It's funny, I don't always associate like winnings and windfalls. I don't necessarily always bring those into a reading or think of the Wheel of Fortune in that way, but it just felt so in my face, like luck, just luck. Beautiful. Okay, next we're going to look at the energy that helps you to know that you're on the right track with staying connected to your crown chakra. We've got trust. Accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. Yeah, and I love that. I think the more you love yourself, hence are able to be authentic to yourself, the more trust you feel in yourself and the more you accept your inner voice as a very real, authentic, and wise guide. I mean, that makes perfect sense. Whoops. And then we've got Queen of Air here. Yeah, like a lot of clarity, a lot of perception, a lot of knowing how to nurture and create in the mental realm, in expression, in, you know, beauty and potency and love. It's like the more you learn how to trust yourself and develop that connection to your inner voice as your guide, the more you develop your ability to, knowing that you're on the right track with staying connected to your crown chakra, but also messages coming in, downloads and inspiration coming in that just feed and foster your ability to be so expressive and creative and nurturing of ideas, of perspective, of harmony, of relationships. Yeah, it's beautiful. You've got 2 queens, by the way, and 3 major arcana. So this is, I'm feeling just like the potential, at least, for a very, very beautiful connection to your crown chakra. But it's up to you how much you allow yourself to love yourself and nurture yourself and develop your authenticity. Okay, we are now going to look at sort of the kinds of, any kind of download can come obviously with an open crown chakra, but we want to look at the kinds of downloads you tend to really attract in to your life, just to help you connect to it, find some shape and form around what your crown chakra is, how you relate with your crown chakra. So I'm going to be reading from the guidebook from this, and there's 2 different guidebooks, one for when the card comes out upright and one for when it comes out upside down, which it came in reverse here, which is the dusk guidebook. So wisteria in reverse, or at dusk. It says, wisteria are slow to set out their leaves in spring, waiting until the weather is perfect before jumping to life. I can attest to that because we have a huge wisteria on our property and it's always very late. Drawing this card is a reminder to trust your instincts and listen to your inner voice before making a decision. There is power in stillness and in waiting. It may feel like others are rushing ahead in their endeavors, but you will know when the time is right for you to act. Yeah, and I think that this is giving me some insight into what I'm feeling up here about preparing and clearing energy for your crown chakra to come through. Your connection to the divine, to unity, to life, to getting inspiration and downloads requires you to have maybe a lot more downtime than others, because of how nurturing and deep and potent your connection to downloads are, to spirit is. You just need, because the messages that you attract in, the inspiration you attract in is so harmonious, is so magical and beautiful. It just takes more time to really allow space and time. And so even when you're doing that properly, there's time needed. But I do get the sense that oftentimes you guys get frenetic, and so you're blocking that energy. Which then makes those periods between downloads and inspiration even further drawn out. So that patience, that building an acceptance of needing to really nurture yourself, give yourself some ease, drop into and really accept what is authentically in you. And I feel like part of that is accepting the beauty and magic and love you possess. There's something I think you sometimes struggle with there. So yeah, you may in general around you have this energy of the late bloomer, but I think the older you get, the more you find this rhythm and understand it and start understanding your blooming cycle. And so you don't see it as late blooming, you just see yourself on your blooming moments. You understand when they come. They're just like on a different pattern. That won't necessarily, once you get that rhythm and drop into it and accept it, won't necessarily be slow anymore. You just know that you bloom at a different time, when the heat is already up, kind of thing. You take more time to, your blooms need more time to connect to the right timing. But just like any flower, you always bloom in the year. It's just not, other flowers tend to bloom before you, but you still each only bloom once a year, if that makes sense. So it's not like you bloom less, you just bloom at a different time, a little later in every cycle, but with more magic, more beauty, more potency. Ace of Air, and more power, with more intelligence, more power, more composure, more trust. That's what I feel for sure. Okay, let's get just a general message from the crystal realm that you need to know in terms of connecting to the message that's supposed to come for you this week. download, inspiration, a spark of the divine. Smoky quartz, let it go. And I feel like that let it go is like letting go of frenetic energy, letting go of refusing to see all the beauty you possess, letting go of needing to feel like you're in a rush to bloom. Yeah, let it go. Okay, so last card we're gonna do, I still want to keep this very sort of open-ended so everyone has a chance to get whatever download is meant for them, whatever inspiration is meant for them to come in to spark this spiral of creation into motion. But I do want to just get maybe like a little hint, a little insight about like a general vibe of something for this pile. We have Devara Patra, number 38. And the interpretations in this book are usually quite long, so I'm just going to be reading this sort of italicized, distilled part. So it says, out of confusion, a clear and progressive pathway is opening up for you. It is an auspicious time to give generously of yourself to others, enriching the quality of your connections, expressing spiritual blessings of goodwill and encouragement from your heart. A powerful blessing is entering your world. A prayer is now being answered in a beautiful way. Spirit gives freely and generously of all good things, and the task of humanity is to learn how to receive. The key to receiving is an open, surrendered, generous, and trusting heart. So yeah, basically, the hint we have is a powerful blessing is entering your world, or a powerful download. And you, to connect, to open to this, need to drop into receptivity. And that's what I'm feeling, that frenetic thing I'm feeling around you. It's like you're giving, giving, giving. You need to switch into relaxing, receiving, connecting to pleasure, honoring what's beautiful and magical in you, and opening up to, receiving right now. And that will give that calmness, that space to come in with this powerful blessing, powerful download coming in for you. Okay, this is where I'm going to leave you. Pile 3, gorgeous reading. Love this for you guys. If this resonates or resonated, I always appreciate a thumbs up. Little comments are always fun to read, and definitely subscribe if you're not yet. And I will see you guys next week as we anchor this down into our root chakras. All right, see you guys. Hello, Pile 4, and welcome to your crown chakra reading as we call in a new sort of download or inspiration to kick off a 7-week spiral of creation. So if you haven't watched the intro to this, I would watch that first, because this is part of a series, and it will definitely mean a lot more to you if you understand the philosophy behind this series of 7 readings that is to come. Okay, so you guys chose pile 4 with the crown chakra card from the Wise Animal Body deck, and we are actually not going to be using this in the reading. It was sort of a placeholder for the pile, so we're just going to set that aside. So to start the reading, we are going to be looking at several areas of insight into maybe where there needs to be some clearing or healing to get your crown chakra open in order to be ready over the course of this week to receive some kind of download or inspiration or spark of the divine coming our way. Okay, so for you, we've got Sagittarius with the energy of expand. So this is telling me, in order to prepare for the download coming, you need to find a little bit more optimism right now, to find some sort of aim, some sort of vision, some sort of big picture thing that you're feeling drawn to, that you would like to aim for. There's something about finding an aim that will help you to connect to whatever download is coming in for you at this time. Okay, let's get a little context with a confirmation card. 7 of Earth. So think about here, there's something here that you've cultivated for a very long time, and maybe there's been several things that you've been cultivating for a very long time and starting to feel impatient, like none of them are paying off, but one of them is about to. So you need to get in touch with one of the many things you've been cultivating that feels like it has an expansive energy starting to be felt in like an undertone of it. So you could go through, if anything comes to mind, there's like several things that might come to mind. You could go through and just ask yes or no questions. Is blah, blah, blah the thing I need to find vision with? Is option B the thing I need optimism around? Is option 4, and wait for that yes, or that feeling of like, oh yeah, there's some expansiveness, there's some higher vision being felt here, and really plug into that. There's something that, yeah, you've waited a long time for. There's several things I think you've waited a long time for, but one of them is getting ready to have a download come in and really push the limits here. Okay, let's see another message about anything. Yeah, this is not another thing coming in. It's like more of a confirmation and more context. You've been very disciplined. You've been waiting again on many things. You've been very disciplined. You've been very patient. One of the things, the key is arriving. And so it's about figuring out which one this is so you can really focus on it and aim with it instead of sort of watching all the things. There's something you're really supposed to hone in on around the many things you've been waiting a long time for. And again, just ask the yes/no questions and wait for your body to be like or like simple gut responses. Oh wait, I need a tarot here. Page of Fire. This is just more context around how this might feel, how to identify it, something that's starting to feel renewed, like young again, like energy is around it again, that may feel immature to you, like a step backward, but it's not. It's changing, it's giving more dimensions to one of these things. So which thing that you're waiting on feels both like dreamy and maybe even silly? But that silliness, sometimes we need a silliness to break us out of some kind of rigidity. Sometimes we need a little bit of that immaturity, that goofiness, that monkiness to break some rigidity and give new dimension to things that may feel immature at the time, but it's actually doing something really, at least in this instant, it's doing something really powerful. It's new, it's giving new life and new dimension to something that's already got a lot of time and discipline behind it and waiting behind it. Okay, let's see. One more thing about anything you need to know to sort of clear the path for your download to come in this week. Get curious. Yeah, that connects to this Page of Fire energy. Get playful. Shake things up a bit. Be curious. What gives you a sense of wonder and awe? What makes you feel young? What makes you come alive? There's something about that that is helping to clear. It's like there's a film over your crown chakra right now that's like holds these expectations. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. It's like you have too rigid of expectations of where something needs to go that you've been nurturing, that you've had a real focused aim on. And it's like that aim needs to shift a little bit. And so you need to get playful, you need to get curious, you need to be swept into your inner child, because something about that adding some dreams and dimensions and silliness will all of a sudden be like, oh, I just had an idea. And this was such like just this teeny shift in this thing I've been really working hard on and focusing on that's just like not blossoming yet, or, you know, coming into its opportunity yet. I just needed to look over like 2 centimeters to the left, you know, like it's just like this little shift. And then 2 of fire. Yeah, exactly. 2 of fire to me is all about finding your aim. Finding that aim that gives order to everything. Get playful, get silly, shake it up, and the right aim and the right order, that's going to come for you. It's interesting because in the other 3 piles, I didn't get so specific to what the message is coming. I just got, you know, what are some blocks. So yeah, really clear messages coming for you guys. Okay, we're going to go down a level and we're going to look at sort of your relationship with your crown chakra, a little bit about your crown chakra. So this first card is all about what is it? How do you build a stronger, like what is your direct access to your crown chakra, and how can you build a, you know, relationship there and understand where your access point is? So you got tenderness. The energy of tenderness activates our capacity to open our hearts and approach the world and each other with gentleness and care. So something about opening your heart in a very tender and gentle way. So this is heart chakra type energy to me. There's something about being very open, being generous, being loving in the world. There's something about that that really connects you directly with your crown chakra, that builds a relationship, that strengthens your relationship to that crown chakra, to connection to the divine, to source. And its inspirations and downloads it has the potential to bring you. So 7 of Waters. It's interesting, you have 7 of Earth and 7 of Water, right? They're like opposite cards to each other, right underneath each other. Yeah, I mean, and it's interesting how this variety of fish kind of matches this circle in the same colors here. I think your heart loves to put different things in motion. I think it loves to connect to the variety of human expression, of humanity, to be open, to be holding many things at once, nurturing many things at once, cultivating many things at once, and just staying open with that and not frustrated, because that is, you know, putting a lot of things in motion just means sometimes then it takes a long time for any one thing to blossom and come into being. So just cultivating tenderness towards patience, cultivating a love language with patience, and that in that variety and that patience, because it's almost like you're creating an ecosystem in all the things you put into motion. So when the thing, you know, even though it takes longer for these things to come into being, when they do, the ecosystem created and all the things blossoming just makes your life just really gorgeously full and connected and supported and blossoming all at once. So yeah, connecting, really developing a love language with tenderness and patience. Because with patience and with deep heart care for all the things you put into motion, when they hit, like a lot of the things will kind of hit at once, but after a long period of time, it's like a really well connected and flourishing sort of environment starts to come into being. And there's a lot of downloads and beautiful support from the divine, from the cosmic, that you can have connection to here. Maybe about knowing which things to put into motion, knowing which things are worth being patient for and cultivating and tending to. Okay, we're next going to look at the energy that appears when you're on the right track with keeping your crown chakra activated, open, healthy, clear. And the energy of balance is what will be felt when you're really in wellness, in active mode and clear mode with your crown chakra. So it says, I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. Beautiful. So when you're feeling a lot of judgment, which may come from things feeling like they go so slow for you, maybe you see other people moving things more quickly than you, which can bring some potential jealousy and then some judgment. That's a sign that you're not being tender towards patient, developing a love language with patience, and receiving downloads and inspiration and insight about just how flourishing things are that are in development. And so really honoring your capacity and capability to manifest and to take inspiration and anchor it and realize it. It just takes time for you, but when things happen, they're so flourishing. So feeling balanced, feeling in harmony with the world, and staying connected to your heart in a way that sort of allows you to stay away from judgment and evil eye and that kind of thing. Beautiful. Okay, so now we're going to look at what kind of course, like any kind of download is always possible to come. We want to look at what kind of downloads and inspiration you tend to attract through the relationship you have with your crown chakra. So we have Asphodel upright, and I'm going to read from the guidebook for this. There's 2 guidebooks for this deck, for upright and for reverse, which is the dusk. So you have upright, which is the dawn book. So Asphodel upright. Okay. The Mazier of Corsica carry wands of asphodel into the dream realm. There they hunt the souls of locals in order to predict who will fall ill or die in the next year. Drawing this card is a sign that you too will have to make some big predictions soon. They'll have important effects on your life, so don't make them lightly. But don't take forever either, or someone may end up making them for you. That is very interesting, and I feel like that sort of connects to what I was feeling up here, of like knowing when to recognize something's ready to be pushed further into the world. Because you're tending to so many things, it could be easy to sort of miss the signs of something sort of being ready to be pushed more. And so the downloads that you tend to attract are inspiration and insight and downloads that help you know when it's right to make predictions about what's ready to be further pushed. made, push things that make you feel out of your comfort zone, that bring in expansion. So yeah, you can really attract some downloads that help you to see when things are, because you're juggling so many things and tending to and cultivating so many things, you need a little help from spirit to, I think, recognize and know when something's ready to be, pushed out of its comfort zone in order to expand it. Yeah, Ace of Earth, and it really gives you a lot of material power when you listen to this and act on it, which is beautiful to see. Okay, let's get a message to end this aspect of the reading from the crystal realm. Just a nice simple message that it wants to leave, that your crown chakra wants to leave you with, to help you in the coming week to be open to the message it wants to bring you. Aragonite, release your emotional baggage. So this may have to do with your balance state. Know that something is coming into being, something is ready to be pushed and expanded and flourish in your life, and let that help you come into a place of being able to look at what you're doing instead of focusing on how much other people are accomplishing, knowing that, something is about to come into being in my life. I need to focus on that, and that will just help you release certain things, come back into balance, and find your focus of what is, attract in the download that's helping you to show where you're needing to focus your energy. Okay, so to end this reading, I want to pick one card that I'm going to use a guidebook with. It's the White Light Oracle. Even though I want to keep it very open-ended so that everyone has the chance to bring in the inspiration, the download from their crown chakra that they're meant to get, specific to you, that you should be watching for over the week, I do just want to get like a little bit of a hint, some sort of insight that Spirit might leave us with to help kind of know where this might be coming from, generally what this might be around. So we got Tantra of 639 Hertz, 18th card. Okay, and this book, the descriptions are like pages long, so I'm just going to be reading sort of this distilled, italicized little paragraph. So it says, be open to that which seems unfamiliar or different. Yeah, it's going to be time to push something out of its comfort zone for expansion. You will experience a breakthrough as you embrace an unusual approach. We talked about already, like being in your inner child, playful. You are on a soul path of accelerated spiritual growth, which is swifter but not always easier. You do not have to contrive your own happiness, but you can dip into the bliss within your body to lighten your mental state and you remind yourself everything is working out beautifully. Yes, I love that. So something is coming in. Like we've already talked, it's just confirmation things we've already talked about. It's time to shake it up, to get playful, to believe that something is ready to really push out of the comfort zone, to expand and grow, and really amplify some kind of journey taking off for you in relation to something you've already been tending to and cultivating for some time. Okay, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. If this resonated, I always appreciate a thumbs up. Little comments are super fun to read as well, and definitely subscribe if you're not yet. And I will see you guys in a week's time for the root chakra reading. So we'll take the download that comes to you over the next week and ground it into our body and find some sort of alignment and stability and soul connection to it. Okay, see you guys next week.